Hello and welcome to day 7 of the 12 days of crochet. We are really getting through it. So far we have made the 6-spotted ladybug, the blue banded bee, a snail, rosy maple moth, a dragonfly, and an orchid mantis. So, without further ado, let's reveal what's in box number 7. So the clue for today was this. I'm wondering if any of you got it, because I have to obviously film these intros in advance, but let's open up the box and find out. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the video to get a clue as to who we're making on day 8. So let's, oh, you can see him sticking out the top a little bit already. Let's just straighten those out for you, buddy. There we go. So for day number 7, we are going to be making a Japanese emperor caterpillar who normally look like this. Isn't that so cute? Neat. Okay, so let's talk tools and materials. So to make the cutest little caterpillar in all of the land, the Japanese emperor caterpillar, you're going to need 8-ply 100% acrylic yarn in 4 colors. Now, this little caterpillar is mostly green, but he has little yellow feet, a little cream face mask, and you're going to need a tiny amount of gray for his cute little, I could only describe it as an ooh-woo expression. You'll also need a pair of 9mm safety eyes and some stuffing. Now, in terms of tools, you're going to need a 3.5mm hook and some scissors. I also recommend having some stitch markers available to you, and I'm going to be using some bobby pins today. So our little caterpillar today is made all in one piece, and we're going to start in the middle of the forehead. So I would like you to grab, oh, yeah, buddy. So I would like you to grab your cream. So in our cream, we're going to start by making a magic ring of 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now in our 6th stitch, we're going to change to our green. And the easiest way to do that in a magic ring, I don't like doing it in a magic ring, but the easiest way is to tighten that off most of the way. We've still got a lot of room to work with there. Insert our hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop of our old color. Hold our cream out of the way. Grab a strand of the green. Pinch it on the back of the piece at the base of the stitch. Then yarn over with your green and pull through both loops. Then just tug on your old color to settle that stitch down into place, leaving with you a completed single crochet in our cream, but our green is now on our hook, ready to go. At that point, you can finish tightening off that magic ring. So in row 2, we're going to build his little antlers. So I looked at a whole bunch of photos to work out what color these are supposed to be, and they are super, super cute if you make them in like brown or red. But I did see plenty of photos with them in green, and just with the added difficulty of this one here, I decided to stick with the basics. So row 2 starts with an increase, and I do work in visible increases, which just means the first stitch of my increase is in the front loop only. And then I work the second stitch through both loops. This is a preference thing, and you are more than welcome to use standard increases instead for this pattern. Now we're going to make our first little antler. So I want you to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're then going to turn, and starting in the second chain from our hook, we're going to slip stitch. And then in the next chain along, we're going to work a treble crochet. Now we do have a number of treble crochet to work throughout this pattern, and how we work those is you yarn over your hook twice, insert your hook into the stitch, or in this case, chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 4 loops on your hook. You're then going to yarn over and pull through the first 2, and then yarn over and pull through the next 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2. So there is our treble crochet. And we're kind of just going to fold that over so that we can access the rest of the chains that we're working into. And we're going to work 3 slip stitches down those chains. So 1, 2, and 3. And there is our first little antler, or antenna, however you want to think about them. Then we're going to be once again working into the stitches of our round, and we're going to work 2 increases. That's 1. And 2. And it's time to work our second antler. So chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn, and starting in the second chain from your hook, work a slip stitch, then a treble crochet, and then 3 slip stitches down the rest of the chains. Like so. An increase in our green, changing to our cream. So how we work a color change on an increase is we work our first stitch normally, and then the second stitch becomes our color change, just the way we did at the start of the pattern. You insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, hold your old color out of the way, grab a strand of your new color, which we haven't trimmed off, so I'm just going to pull it across from where it currently is, pinch it at the base of the stitch, yarn over, and complete our stitch with it. Just tug on our tails to scooch that stitch down in place. So now we have our cream back on our hook. So we have 2 stitches left in our row and our cream on our hook, and we're going to put an increase into each of them. So there's 1 and 2. So there we are at the end of row 2. Row 3 starts with 3 single crochet into the same stitch, changing to our green in the 3rd stitch. So that's 1, 2, and changing to our green on the 3rd. We're then just going to work 7 single crochet around the back of the head. So we have 1 before the first little antler. Fold the antler forward, so it's going to be on the outside of the work. 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold the second little antler forward. 6, and the 7th stitch is going to fall into the last green stitch of our round, and we're going to use that to change to our cream. We're just building up a little face mask kind of patch on the front of our caterpillar, and then we chill out just a little bit more with when it comes to the color changes. And in our cream, we're going to work 3 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then a single crochet changing to our grey. So that's exactly the same way we were changing colors to our green before. It's just now there's grey involved. Where's the end of you, buddy? There you are. So there we are, my grey is attached, and I am going to choose to tie this one in place, though we're still not trimming any colours off. Not done with any of them. Now into the next stitch, we're going to make his little mouthpiece. We're going to do that by working 2 treble crochet into the same stitch, changing back to our cream in the second one. So there's 1. And then for the second one, we have to work a colour change. So all colour changes really are is on the final yarn over and pull through for any particular stitch, you pull through your new colour instead. So we yarn over our hook twice, insert our hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2, yarn over and pull through the next 2, and we have just 2 loops left on our hook. I'm going to hold the grey out the way, and we're going to grab our cream and yarn over and pull through with that instead. Settle the stitch down into place, and for this one here you're going to scooch it all the way down so that it folds over and forms the little snoot. Then we have just 1 single crochet to get back to the start of our round. And there we are at the end of round 3. Round 4 is 3 single crochet, changing to our green in the 3rd. 1, 2, and change to our green in the 3rd. I'm just pulling my green across from where it was attached, being careful not to pull it too tightly so I don't fold my caterpillar. Around the back of the head, changing back to our cream in the 7th. Four, 5, 6, and changing back to the cream in our 7th. And then we're going to work 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one will fall just before the nose. we're going to work a decrease using the 2 grey stitches. And you can work either a standard decrease or an invisible decrease, it's up to you. And 1 final single crochet to finish the round. Row 5 starts with 3 single crochet, changing to our green. So 1, 2, 3. Change to our green, and we can trim off the grey at this point. I've left it 1 round just so that I'm superstitious, so I don't like to trim things off too early, but we can trim the grey off now and just untangle ourselves a little bit there. Then 7 single crochet in our green, changing back to our cream. Four single crochet, changing back to our green. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in our green, we're going to work 2 single crochet in the back loop only. So when we crochet, we're normally inserting our hook through both loops. But if you look at the top of the stitch, you'll see that there's a loop on the side facing you and a loop on the side facing away. So the side facing you is the front loop and the side facing away is the back loop. And these 2 stitches are going to be worked into the back loop only. So 1, and in the second one, we're going to change back to our cream. So there we are at the end of row 5. Row 6 starts with 3 single crochet, changing back to our green. 1, 2, 3. Then in our green, we're going to work 3 single crochet. An increase. 3 single crochet. Then we're going to work in the back loops only and work a single crochet 3 together, which is basically just a decrease over 3 stitches, but we're working it in the back loops only. So you insert your hook through the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, insert your hook through the second stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and insert your hook through the third stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. This should leave you with 4 loops on your hook. Not to be confused with the 10 loopy caterpillars, this is the 4 loopy caterpillar. And we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. That's just going to give him a nice chubby little cheek. Then we have a single crochet in the back loop only. And then going back to working through both loops, 2 single crochet back to the start of the round. So, and I am just going to spin to win to untangle myself here. There we go. And we are done with our cream now, so we are going to trim that off. Okay, so row 7 starts with a single crochet 3 together in the back loops only. So just like we did on the other side, we're going to do another one here. Cheeks often come in pairs. There we go. And we're then going to work 8 front post single crochet around. So if you've been following along this series, you've seen this tutorial, 6 times now? But we're going to go through it again, just in case. So when we crochet, we normally insert our hook at the top of the stitch through the loops, but stitches also have these little stems or posts underneath them, and we can crochet around those. And we're going to today for structural reasons. So this row calls for front post single crochet. So to start with, we need to find the first post we want to work around. So what I do is I find the next set of loops that I would otherwise crochet into, which is this first green stitch here. And then you follow that down to the post of the stitch, which is this one here. So that's the one we're going to be working around. Then we insert our hook from the front of the work, around the post, and back to the front of the work. Yarn over and pull up a loop around the post, and yarn over and pull through both loops to complete the stitch. So there is my first front post single crochet, and we're going to do 7 more of those for 8 in total. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we are going to be swapping back to working like regular single crochet, but because we're swapping between post stitching and regular crochet, I recommend you count backwards from your hook until you find the 13th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And that tells me this is the next opening that I'm supposed to work into. Sometimes it can be really easy to gain or lose a stitch at the end of a front post row, and so counting backwards from your hook just helps avoid that. And we're going to work just 4 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. Okay, so at this point we are going to stop and insert our safety eyes. So we're going to insert our safety eyes into row 4. So I want you to find row 4. So magic ring, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to pop my eye in, just so it's nicely surrounded by our cream mask on all sides. So that we have, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that we have the cream surrounding it nicely on all sides. And we're going to do our best to line up the eyeball on the other side as well. They might have to be slightly crooked. This is just a recommended starting position, and you should move them around slightly 1 stitch at a time until you are happy with your position. And that's where I'm going to be putting mine today. So I'm going to snap my backs on. Let's see if we can get some popping sounds. I don't know if this has been the most successful season for popping sounds, but well, we always do our best. And there we go. So now we're going to be heading into row 8, and in row 8 we actually make the first little foot. So we start by working 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to work 4 increases. 1, 2, 3, and 4. See how that's already starting to like curve the back out? That's going to help us form the body out this way instead of down this way. Then 3 single crochet, changing to our yellow. So 1, 2, and 3. Now for our little caterpillar, only his feet are yellow. So just think of it as he's got fancy shoes, but he's not wearing a fancy dress. So in our yellow, we're going to be working a treble crochet, changing back to our green. So just like we did for the nose, except this time in yellow. So there we go. And change back to our green. There is our first little foot. And we're going to sort of fold that forward and out so it bobbles outwards, and work 2 single crochet back to the start of our round. And now he can wave hello. Hello. Row 9 starts with a green single crochet, changing to our yellow. Then a yellow treble crochet, changing back to our green. If you do not want to do all of these color changes, feel free to just make all of the stitches in green. And then in our green, we're going to work 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now on the back, we need to add some little spikies. So we're going to make a green treble crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and then another green treble crochet. It's just 7 single crochet back to the start of our round. So 5 falls in the first little foot, and then it's 6 and 7. And at this point, you should have 17 stitches in your round. Row 10 starts with 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a decrease. And then we're going to do something a little bit weird, and it's going to help us curve the body later. I want you to grab some stitch markers, and we're going to need 4 of those. And I want you to mark the next 4 front loops. So that's the loop on the side of the work closest to you. The first one is the first green spike, then it's the 2 single crochet in between, and the last one we're going to mark is the second green spike. So we're marking those 4 front loops along the back, and then we're going to work 4 single crochet in the back loops only. I just find it easier to mark them first. It's just so that we can find them in a couple of rows. without too much hassle. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Then on the other side, we're going to work a decrease, 3 single crochet, changing to our yellow, 1, 2, 3, and a yellow treble crochet, changing back to our green. And it's just 1 single crochet in our green back to the start of our round. So here's 3 little feet now, 2 little antennas, 2 little back spikies, and 4 body piercings. Row 11 starts with 1 single crochet, changing to our yellow. And then a yellow treble crochet, changing back to our green. And then it's just 13 single crochet around back to the start of our row. 3, 12, and 13. Your feet are going to be a little higgledy-piggledy. It's going to be a lot less noticeable once we've stuffed the caterpillar, and it's also, you're just not going to care after a certain point. Just, again, this is the finished caterpillar and the feet alignment. They kind of pinch in and then flare back out a little bit. Okay, who wants to see inside my caterpillar? Let's have a look. See in there? See how I'm just pulling the colours backwards and forwards as I need them? It's all full of secrets. Row 12 is 13 single crochet, changing to our yellow in the 13th stitch. Oh, wow, that went by really fast, and this is number 13. I zoned out and missed like a dozen stitches. And we're going to work a yellow triple crochet, changing back to our green. And it's 1 little single crochet to finish the round. Okay, in row 13, we're finally going to do something interesting again. Are you ready? We're going to use the stitches that we marked, but I guess not right away. So row 13 starts with a decrease, changing to our yellow. We're going to work a yellow treble, changing back to our green. Then we're going to work 3 green single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Now here's the tricky part. We are now going to work 4 single crochet into our marked front loops, and we're going to skip the 4 stitches of the row that fall like behind them. So we're going to work in these 4 stitches instead of these 4 stitches. So to do that, all you do is insert your hook from the top of the front loop downwards. It's going to keep everything lined up correctly. And then just work your single crochet as per normal. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can remove all of those stitch markers now, making sure that we skip the right 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the next one we're going to work into. And we're going to work 2 single crochet. 1 and 2, and then a single crochet 3 together to finish the row. So you'll see what that's done is it's taken the opening of our caterpillar from like flat to this angle, which is a pretty substantial change on a creature this size. And it's just curved our back, and now we're going to be loading decreases along the underside and increases along the top to just finish that process using shaping. But first, we're going to stop and we're going to stuff our caterpillar up to this point. And we are going to stuff quite firmly. So, row 14 starts with a single crochet 3 together. Got my hook backwards. Hook backwards is kind of just a stick. Then 2 single crochet. 1 and 2, and remember to use the stitches from our previous round. We're not going to use this little flap inside again. We're going to work 4 increases across the back. Then a single crochet, changing to our yellow, a yellow treble crochet, changing back to our green, and a green single crochet to finish the round. So that's where our foot falls. And note that the end of our round now feels like it's way more off to the side. That's just by the nature of those decreases we were doing. It's sort of pulled everything off to one side. Your feet should still be relatively lining up though. Row 15 starts with a green single crochet, changing to our yellow. Then a yellow treble crochet, changing back to our green. Now, if you're thinking it's been a while since we've done any of the back spikes, you'd be correct. And we're going to fix that. So we're going to work 4 single crochet, a treble crochet, two single crochet, another treble crochet, and then 4 single crochet back to the start of our round. Row 16 starts with 12 single crochet, changing to our yellow in the 12th stitch. So that's 2, 3, 11, and 12. Going to make a yellow treble crochet, changing back to our green. And a green single crochet to finish the round. Row 17 starts with 2 single crochet, changing to our yellow in the 2nd stitch. Then we're going to make a yellow treble, changing back to our green. Then we're going to work 2 repeats of 2 single crochet and a decrease. So there's our first one. And our second one. And then it's just 3 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, and 3. And guess what, guys? We're actually done with our yellow and we can trim it off at this point. For row 18, we're going to work 5 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're then going to work a treble crochet, two single crochet, 1 and 2, and another treble crochet. Then 3 single crochet back to the start of our round. We're going to stop and stuff the rest of our caterpillar. If your caterpillar is feeling a little bit front heavy and you're not sure that it'll ever stand up, you can also sneak a little weight into the base of it at this point. I haven't put one into this one here, and so I know I should just trust the process, but I'm questioning myself a little bit here. So just thought I'd let you know that now is the time to insert, it rocks in quite a pleasing manner, insert a weight if you were going to. Then all in our green, we're going to work 4 single crochet, three decreases, and 2 single crochet. And this should bring our round down to 9 stitches. Then row 20 is 2 single crochet, 3 decreases, and a single crochet to finish the round. And finish off. Now you will be left with a tiny little opening, and we're just going to take our remaining tail and pull it through the front loops only of each of the stitches in that round. Then pull it tight like a little drawstring bag and tuck the end away. And there is our little caterpillar. Now, as mentioned, we can... His crooked little facial expression is sending me. There is our finished Japanese Emperor caterpillar. Alrighty, so who wants a clue for day number 8? The only clue I can really give here is boots and snoots. So the colours you'll need for day 8 are kind of open to interpretation. I'm personally going to be using pale yellow and bright yellow, but you could probably use just about anything. Hope to see you there. Okay, bye! Alrighty, let's have a look at what's under the log today. Now, yesterday I said pics or it didn't happen, and I feel like you may have taken that personally. I got a lot of messages telling me that you didn't have to use any stitch markers at all, and can I just say, why do you have to be out there shaming me like that? I can't make that little bug without stitch markers, and no one else should be ashamed if they need to use stitch markers either. Anyway, a huge thank you to my patrons for making this event possible, as well as to Mr. Bones for compiling the photos for this slideshow, and for turning a blind eye when I snuck 2 late entries into the pile. Shout out to Sour Sprout and Yuki Hime. Your mantises were too cute not to share. Anyway, sit back and enjoy a veritable can-can of petally little mantises, and I'll see you tomorrow. Just a little pickle.